communications minister. Now, part of that job does include regulating and overseeing the media, and that includes Israel's public TV and radio stations, whose news coverage has been a particular concern of Netanyahu's. No surprise, then, that for that job, he picked a Likud lawmaker considered one of his most loyal supporters, David Dudi AMSALEM, who has frequently criticized the media's coverage of the prime minister. Minister AMSALEM spoke with me earlier today about his new post and lots of other political matters. Mr. AMSALEM, first of all, thank you for joining us at I-24 News. I'd like to start with politics, if I can. You are a senior figure in the Likud. We are in the midst of an election. There have been serious charges just laid by one of the rivals in this election, Ehud Barak, accusing the prime minister of libel, even slander, and his associates, presumably including yourself. What is your answer to Ehud Barak?
Ehud Barak, we heard his speech yesterday. Ehud Barak needs to deal with the accusations against him. We saw his story, his friendship with Jeffrey Epstein, who was convicted in the United States for procuring a 14-year-old girl for prostitution, which is the absolute moral low. He's his friend. He's not just his friend. He's also his business partner. He also received about 10 million shekels from the Wexner Foundation, which Mr. Epstein is the director. And Ehud Barak, I think, needs to provide answers, first of all, morally to the public. How is he Epstein's friend after he was convicted and continued to do business with him afterwards? We saw the pictures in the Daily Mail. He needs to explain to the people of Israel. That's on the moral public level. But on the criminal level, I think the Prime Minister, Ehud Barak, needs to be investigated by the police, first of all, for the money he received, also for what Olmert said when he was Prime Minister, that in every arms deal he gets his own kickbacks. He needs to spend time in an investigation room.
How do you respond to his response that Prime Minister Netanyahu, given his own legal troubles, is in no position to sit in judgment of his actions?
This is nonsense. There's no connection between the accusations. Ehud Barak received 10 million shekels. What's that got to do with the Prime Minister receiving a cigar here or there from Milchan and a bottle of wine? You have to understand. He understands that he is declining tremendously. He needs to give answers to the police need to provide answers to the Israeli people, why they don't arrest him and interrogate him. So he's diverting everything towards Netanyahu and telling all sorts of stories about Netanyahu.
I'd like to congratulate you on your appointment as communications minister. In that role, you do have some responsibility for regulating media, even more direct authority over public broadcasting in Israel, including its news divisions. You have been critical of the media. You've accused it of having a leftist bias, of being unfair to the prime minister. Do journalists have to be worried about your appointment?
No one needs to be concerned. Kalev, we're a democratic country. Everyone can express their opinion. What I argued and still argue, that the media is the fourth estate in democratic state in its authority, that influences almost directly on public opinion and what they think, first on the level of information, but also opinion. And I believe that this is a medium that has to be balanced. Every population has to be expressed in the media, according to their own weight in the population. The media doesn't do that nowadays. It represents certain opinions that don't represent everyone, and this has to change. And by the way, this is a serious affront to democracy. The people don't believe what they say in the media. They say they're all leftists. So what use is it if we continue like this? What will we reach? We'll reach a situation of a crisis in democracy, most basic crisis.
Will that belief affect in some way any of the decisions you might make as communications minister, for example, when it comes to public broadcasting in Israel?
Look, I'm
learning the issues now. I'm studying what the minister's authorities are vis-a-vis the different bodies, and there isn't really a direct connection between the minister and these bodies, but I'm in a learning process right now. What I think is that the media itself knows this quite well. The journalists know this. The heads of the news desk know this. The directors know this. They know that this issue is not balanced. They know this. So I expect some fairness from them, because at the end of the day, everything has to be fair. If the public feels that this isn't fair, the public will treat it accordingly. So I think they need to have a look in their own home and take this to the correct level of balance without me needing to say so. By the way, this isn't my position. Go outside, go outdoors, stop 10 people. You'll see 70% of people will say the same thing, and 30% believe it as well, but they don't feel comfortable saying it.